Like we're heading to extra time, but there's still 5 minutes to play here, Mark. And by all means, there could be more chances. Still in the box, and it's another goal! And it's Andre Cole, the hero from Croydon! We thought it was over, but it's not over, and Croydon look like they're going to go all the way to the win!
We can't say that now!
Here goes Yuki Sasaki into the area, Penagaris, Chrissy Penagaris! Adelaide Comets have taken the lead!
Falcon there, but it leaves Owen Windsor! And a third for Metro Stars.
Here's Emma Ryan. She's not one of them because she's from Darwin. The shot from DeCola. Oh! Lily DeCola scores in the cup final again and wins it for West Adelaide. As the ball cuts back here to Odenwalder. And James Odenwalder scores. He makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide on the day.
I bet he was going to be Travella if he puts one in. He goes himself instead. And it's still Joy Sakani. It's unbelievable, David, as well. And that one is definitely going to be credited to him.
Will have to be chased down by Rapawano. He'll put in a cross of his own. Hobbs wasn't able to capture it. It's in! It's not the one that seals up my Atletico promotion.
I got the skills to make the girls sing. And the geezers too, yeah, we're doing this thing.
Hello, welcome to One Game at a Time for Wednesday, the 27th of May. I am Seb O'Neill, one of your co-hosts for the show. And my question for this week to Alessio Carocci, what's your favourite type of hat to wear?
Hi Seb, how are you? My favourite type of hat, just going to be a baseball cap. Back in the day, in the 2015 era, I'm sure I had a couple of flat caps and NBA caps, but yeah, I think the only one I wear now is just the regular baseball cap.
No, good choice. There is a difference this week. It is just the two of us. Mark and David had some late things come up. They're all good though. Just unable to join us. So it's a two-man job for this week's show between me and Alessio. So things will be a bit different. And I'm sure we'll run as smoothly as always. I'll start off with our picks of the week. I'll go first, and it is about you, Alessio, and also Mark. Both announced for Johnny's upcoming charity match playing for Ross on the 7th of June, Sunday, midday kickoff at Smith Partners Stadium. Of course, yourself, Mark, Simon Antonis, Ali, and Johnny himself all playing with it. They announced Dan Mullen last night as well, and I think there's quite a few others in terms of former players, former Adelaide United players, some media representatives as well. I suppose for you, Alessio, how much are you looking forward to this, even in season as well?
Yeah, I think it's a great initiative, of course. Yeah, very excited. I mean, charity matches get played a lot, and I'm definitely not old enough to be eligible for any of them. So I'm happy to be involved in this one. I know it's for a great cause as well, and it'd be interesting to play with a lot of these guys. I know we obviously played with a couple in the indoor team, but a couple now have got a bit more talents than all of us in ex-pros, ex-MPL players. Even Mark never played with him, and I think it'll be great. And technically, you say it's in season, but I think that weekend there's no state league games on.
True.
Yeah, so it's going to be an extra one for me as well, and it's going to be the last game before I go away. So I'm happy. I'm keeping fit, so it'll be good.
No, absolutely looking forward to the day. It should be plenty of fun. On to your picks.
Yeah, I've got a couple picks this week. Obviously, the first one is actually in State League 2 in the North, where our guest later on will be from as well. But Barossa United, of course, coming into the state leagues for the first time this season. and they had a player come all the way from their under-9s to make the first team. And yeah, a big achievement for a grassroots club, a very young club as well, as you see there. And for a player to go all the way through that academy and all the way through to the first team at any level is very inspiring, especially he must come from the area. And he's obviously been talented enough to play for the first team when their first year in the State League. They probably get a lot of new players, but it's a pathway you don't see very often, especially if they're that talented and a young player that has done that well to stay at the club for so long. But it's good to show so much loyalty and to see it happen in their inaugural season. My next pick of the week, I'm not sure which one you've got, Seb. You can put whichever one up.
You go.
But I guess I'll go with the video I've sent you. One of the quickest goals I've ever seen this season, and the quickest goal I've ever scored in my life. Playing on the weekend against Plimpton. I've got the scoreboard up there from VO because it's actually available. And yeah, I guess you'll see how it plays out. But first half kickoff, obviously with a hotly favoured team. Been good forward recently as well. And yeah, within 23 or I think maybe 26 seconds on the scoreboard of the game, I scored. Of course, didn't end up being the most memorable of days anyway. But to start off that early, I guess it's hard to keep it up from there. But yeah, early goal that was definitely not expected. And again, on my left foot, which seems to be one that I'm scoring more on at the moment.
One of your better finishes I think I've ever seen from you.
Yeah, well, there's not too many bad ones that hit the net, but recently they've been good, yes. And I can't remember, did I have a third pick? Or...
You did. Milestone.
Yes, Milestone, also in the State League 2 North. And it's for Northern Demons, Virtus Soccer Clubs. Chris Anise, 300 games, I assume, not sure. But I think they're all for the Demons as well. And looked like he had a great support crew there. I think this is at Port Pirates ground. And yeah, it looked like everyone was wearing number 2 shirts. He's still playing out there. He's still got plenty more to go. But again, another player, one club player, to play so much, especially at a club with that much travel involved too. I think he's a good sign to the league and to any player to see how low players can be in these leagues, even though there's so many more teams coming, so many more leagues coming, still possible. And especially someone of his age as well, it's still possible to play at a top level. I mean, they were only playing against State League clubs in the Cup not long ago, and he was an integral part in that. And of course, I think we'll maybe have a chat to our guest tonight as well about coaching him. But yeah, it's such an accomplished player. And I think this year is going to be a big year for his club too. I think they've got a fantastic squad put together. And I think they'll be challenging for finals. And maybe one day we'll see him in the State League 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to him as well. Speaking of our guests, how's that timing? We've never done it with 2 people. You're just going to have to sit there and sort of just talk while I get up.
Exactly. I mean, they are from your area, so they're going to have to be
they're
one
pretty
that
close.
They might be at your door.
And I've got pants this week, so I was smart.
Let's see who it is, Seb.
Oh, that was a real quick one. Oh, how good. This week, for our guests from Pontian Eagles, we have Omar Hassan and George Katsigiannis. Smooth as always. Thank you to the 2 of you for joining us this week. First question, as always, George, I'll start with you. Your footballing journey from up into your junior to where you are now.
Well, I was born in Greece and I grew up in Greece. So I played in a few academies over there. And when I moved in Australia in 2013, I played for Cobras under 18s. And then I made my first team debut back then. Then I had a very serious injury with my knee. It set me back a few years. I ended up going to Adelaide Olympic. And from there, I could not really break through into the ranks. And slowly, I was trying to find my first team opportunity. It ended up being at Adelaide Victory, the only other time that I actually played in State League 2. and we managed to get promoted that year, finishing 5th, and then we went all the way in the finals, which was really, really good. And from there, I've had a few experiences, Western Strikers, um, back to Olympic, uh, East United, Vipers, Para Hills, and now Pontian Eagles.
Perfect. Omar, to you.
Yeah, very similar to George. So I was born overseas, obviously Emirates, and then I moved to Egypt. And in 2001, came here. First club was Bacala. Back then, it used to be called Adelaide Galaxy under the Cohen Macris era. I stayed there for a couple of years, and then I sort of took a break from soccer. I just wanted to finish year 11 and 12, and then went to Cobras, stayed there for 4 seasons. Also won what was called back then State League. So State League, Premier League, and Super League. So we won the State League. 2006. I stayed there for a couple more years after that, and then from there I went to Olympic. I stayed there for a few years, and I think that's when George and I probably played together as well. And then from Cobras, went to Vipers. I happened to be fortunate enough to captain Vipers in their first ever official game. And then from there, sort of COVID hit. Went to Eastern for 2 seasons, played 1 season under Raf Racina. And I shall know he's a very good supporter of the show. And then I took a year off where I sort of coached and played at Adelaide Thunder. It was a COVID year. And then after that, I went to Gola, played for a season. And then the season after that, Mobra Vista. And then halfway through the season, the Gola job became available. So I did the last 6 games. Then after that, I coached Gola that season after, 2023. 2024, I went to Northern Demons, and I had the opportunity to obviously coach Chris there. Very obviously professional player, and and then after that, 2024, I took a year off, but it wasn't sort of a year off. I went to West Adelaide. I worked a little bit with Theo. I was fortunate enough to be part of his coaching staff. Last 7 games, had an opportunity to go to Pontian, which I did, and then obviously here now at Pontian, obviously 2026. So yeah, it's not a journey.
Perfect. I'll stay in the short-term memory for now. Of course, you had that win against Salisbury on the weekend, away 3-1. You're 6 points clear. I'll go to you on this one, George. Every week, Alessio says that you've scored and you're a big fan of the show. The one week we have you on, you don't score a goal. I mean, what's that about?
I got to give you that. I'm probably one of the first people in the state that watched the show, and I'm friends with Alessio, so I have to support my friend. But I'll just have to say that Salisbury Inter, the game against Salisbury Inter, it was one of those games that it could have ended 0-0. It was just a very, very scrappy game. A lot of tackles, a lot of fights. But we managed to play through them and get the 3 points, which was really good. And the reason why I didn't score was I can't tell you. I can't go every game without scoring.
Omar, from a coaching perspective, for you, how was it?
Yeah, similar to what just said. It was a scrappy game, but what was really pleasing to see that obviously having a lot of young players playing against a very experienced side, a lot of players that we rate at Salisbury Inter, obviously the Munchie brothers, Butler, Doskis, and all that. So we knew it was going to be a difficult game. But I think what was good to see is that when there was called the physicality, we actually matched them. And but then when it came time to play football, we sort of dominated, to be honest. And I think we deserved to win that game. But yeah, that's the testament to the boys. They're not fazed by
by anyone. I think, yeah, a couple of good away results now against Elizabeth and obviously and Inter as well. So Elizabeth's Downs and Inter. So that's very good to see, to be honest. And we probably were the better sides in both of the games.
Yeah. And I guess sort of, as I said, you're 6 points clear at the top of the North now. We're at the halfway point of the year. I suppose a sort of more broader question is, you are doing well at the moment, and not to sort of to preempt things, but we do know how and I do like to ask this question, I think we like to ask this question of whenever we do have State League 2 guests on, is obviously the system works.
Yeah.
It's 2 conferences. My question being, even though you say you finish first come the end of the year, I'll go to you on this, Omar. You finish first. How does that feel? Even you put in the hard yard, you put in the work, but you still sort of know it doesn't even guarantee you, I won't say success, because obviously you finish top of your league, but it doesn't guarantee you that promotion in the end. How's that? Is that a challenge for you to sort of manage, or is that sort of, that comes second in mind?
So obviously, just to be clear, that we sort of nowhere near that that step yet. So we're taking it one game at a time. I mentioned that. So there's definitely is not something that we're thinking about right now. To be honest, it's just still 27 points to play for, and you know that's momentum is very important in this league. Mm-hmm. So I obviously, and the boys know that, they sort of spoke about it a little bit at training yesterday, that we're going to start even working more harder, and the task ahead is obviously Barossa United away, so that's going to be not going to be an easy game for us. Lee's doing a really good job there, so just wanted to clarify that. Secondly, obviously, in regards to the structure of the league, you know, maybe personally I didn't mind that, you know, initially, but I thought, okay, well, it's probably a good idea, gives the top 4 an opportunity to be promoted from each of the leagues. But now that we sort of sit in top, I'm kind of like thinking, you know, it would have been nice if the 2 top teams from each league go through.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not the. So I guess look, I have been sort of following the Southern League as well. I'm sure the Southern been following our league as well. So that's the tricky part, that you sort of don't play against those teams, but you have to keep tabs on how they're going. So that's been obviously the biggest challenge, and obviously will do my best to go and watch as many games. I did go watch Vipers versus Western Strikers last Friday, and yeah, so I was just gonna keep doing that. But yeah, so if that, I'm sure does that answer the question? It's a bit of a interesting. It's very interesting sort of structure to the league.
Yeah.
But I guess we're just gonna have to do with what we've got at the moment. So yeah.
And then I suppose, George, following on from that question, I guess another aspect to that is, how are you finding it as a player? Of course, all these teams are northern teams. I guess from a travel perspective, and if you want to touch on the structure yourself, I guess what are your thoughts on that?
It's a very tricky structure, the way that they've done it, because you have no idea at the end who you're going to be versing. But I believe that if obviously you can go to the games and watch games and speak to a few people about the other teams, but I think what we've done so well this year is that we are sticking to our plan. Our plan is to finish top of the table, and then after that, we're going to have to worry about who we're going to play next on the next stage. But I think it makes it a little bit more competitive in a way, because you can see, you saw with Modbury Vista last season, they didn't have a chance to get promoted, but they ended up being really, really high up on the table. And that's what makes it interesting about our sport. That's why we love our sport, because it's so unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely. Omar, I'll go back to you for the next question. As you said, you joined Pontian Eagles sort of late last year. I guess in the first instance, what drew you to joining this club?
Yeah, so I think at that time I was as part of the coaching staff at West Adelaide, and we were playing away to Pontian Eagles, and I think yeah, at West Adelaide we won that game, and then a few people sort of spoke to me a little bit after the game, and then there was going to be change of coaches, but out of respect for the previous coach, I said, look, I don't want to be speaking about it for now until something changes, and then yeah, so the late Terry, who passed away, was the founder of the club, one of the founders of the club, and he called me and said, look, at the time I was very happy because I was learning at West Adelaide with Theo, and we asked for to go for a coffee. Asked Theo, I said, yeah, man, just go hear him out. And then yeah, so 10-minute discussion turned up to be 2-hour sort of meeting, and then yeah, he was able to convince me, and I saw that he was very passionate about the club. So he was to be honest, he was the main reason for me to go across. And then obviously the task there was near impossible. I was doing this last 7 games, and we had to win 6 out of 7 to stay up. And I think we ended up obviously the first game we beat Vipers, but then after that sort of it was as I said, a near impossible task at the time. But it was good. It was good because it gave me an opportunity to do a mini preseason, to be honest. And we've identified at the time that we needed to change the culture of the club, and we sort of parted ways with about 17 players. We've only kept 3 players from last year. One of them is George's brother, Aleko, Vasily, and Fergus. And then, yeah, as I said, the rest we sort of we kind of either they moved on, or we moved them on, and we worked extremely hard during the off season to bring some young players, but also players that have the right attitude and they want to fit that culture. Which yeah, I think it's so far it's working really well. So I've got a nice mixture of, obviously we kept our sort of Greek heritage players, players with the Greek background, brought some African players, and we've got 3 visa players from the islands, and they've been unbelievable for us as well. So yeah, so we've got a really good mix of players, and the culture is really good.
No, that's really good to hear. George, for you, I guess, Pontian at the ground itself, I was there twice last year for commentary. The facilities around the place are fairly new. We've seen the fence come around the pitch. There's also the new scoreboard. I guess, as a player, how much are you enjoying the facilities there at Pontian?
Sorry guys, I'm having trouble with the audio. I can't hear you guys.
That's all right. We'll hold off for the moment. I guess, Omar, I'll let you answer the question
Let me
just while we
rephrase.
try to sort that out.
Yeah. The facility's been actually quite good. Obviously, I think I think there's been some further development plans for next season. I think the news is not out yet, but so I'm just gonna probably keep it quiet for now. But yeah, definitely the facilities is improving quite a lot. We kind of introduced like a little gym this year as well, which the players use before every training as well, which is probably helping us in the way that we are conditioned currently. And yeah, no, it's a really, like, honestly, it's got a really nice feel about it. It's similar to the Cobras sort of ground a little bit, to be honest. Like it's like in the middle of a suburb. It's community. It's accessible to the community, but it's good. It's good. It's got a good feel about it. Like the fence is obviously very close to the pitch, and the scoreboard makes it really good. I think we've had a lot of feedback. Even pre-season, we had a couple of NPL's team come, and even Bacala not long ago in the cup. So yeah, the feel about it is really good. I do actually enjoy it. So yeah.
No, that's really good to hear. Are you back with us, George? We'll see if he's
Is he
able
muted?
to come back. He's not muted. I don't know if he's able to hear us still. But we'll
George,
see if
can you
that
hear
can
us?
be.
No.
I'm not
Maybe he
sure.
can't.
That's
Maybe you have,
Alessio.
yeah.
I'll let you go on with your questions next while we try and get this sorted.
Yeah.
Still can't hear you guys.
Yeah, obviously, while we're going through the questions, Seb, I might talk about just my first meeting of both of our guests tonight. Of course, myself and George played together at Olympic in 2022, and we had some good memories there. Didn't make finals, unfortunately, but did get to assist him on a few occasions when he came down to play with the reserves. And yeah, he had a great season with us, and I think he was probably our top scorer and one of the top scorers in the league. And on my debut for Olympic, I actually got to assist him. If you've got the video here, Seb.
I do.
That's me on the left.
NPL reserves.
And then there's George with a trademark header. Against Metro, it was a good game, my first game, and yeah, I had great memories playing with him. And yeah, we were strike partners for a bit, and you can tell where our careers have gone and why some of us score more than the other. But my other obviously connection is with Omar. He was the coach for Gawler when I made my first team debut in 2023. We've got the picture there, Seb, from Dribble, just to confirm it, because I was just checking. I knew he was the coach then, but I wasn't sure if he was involved there. But yeah, that was a memorable day for me. My first time ever actually playing at Gawler was that day. And yeah, I wasn't expecting actually to make the bench in my first week at the club, but yeah, I could come on.
Oh, now he's cut out. What a night for everything at the moment.
That's right. I did tell him offline not to talk about details and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy if he's not with us.
That's fine.
It's fine.
We'll try and get him back as well. I suppose there are some viewer questions I can ask to you, Omar, which we did have given to us. I'll give you the first one from V Per on Instagram. Who has been your toughest opponent so far this season?
Toughest opponent. Obviously, in terms of like chasing and where the league is, definitely I have to. Obviously, I think the game that we really prepared for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday last week was, and also knowing that they're very good in set pieces, was obviously Inter. So we covered all the bases and stuff of how they play and the set pieces and stuff like that. And I think we've done well in nullifying that. And it wasn't until probably towards the end of the game where they've had 3 set pieces, 3 corners, and a free kick. But we kind of dealt with it really well. So I'll probably say that. But there's been some really close games. The one that probably kick-started our season was the Gawler one, 2-1 down in the 90th minute, and then George obviously popped up and scored 2-2, and then scored a free kick in the 95th minute to win the game. I think that's when we knew we said to the boys that was our get out of jail card, and we used it in round 3 or 4. And but yeah, it's been like Angle Vale was a tough game. Mob Revista was a tough game. And all the respect also to Pirates. Like I think a lot of people probably thinking, okay, 9-1 is a big result, but I don't want to take anything away from them. Obviously, it wasn't as an opposition coach. Like I was very happy with the way we played, but obviously, I had kind of sympathy for Pirates, to be honest, with that result, and I don't want to be in the receiving end of a score like this, but it is football. But to be honest, they were very competitive in a lot of the aspect of the game. First half, they were competitive. Was I think just before halftime we scored the 3rd one, and we went to the halftime and we just said to the boys, just relax a little bit, play football. And I think that's when we. But yeah, look, it's honestly, it's been Barossa, to be honest, first game of the season, we beat him 3-0, but it wasn't until the 60th minute where we were able to break them down. Obviously can't go past Berkala as well in the cup. That was a winnable game for us, but obviously, George, how you going, man?
Hey, welcome back.
Everyone's back. We can continue as normal, hopefully. George, I had one more question from me to you. Of course, you were with Para Hills in the sort of late second half of last season. And I think a moments I want to talk about is the goal you scored against Adelaide Croatia Raiders with, I think, as what I commentated as your first touch. And then also just the ending in that final match that season, I suppose, as an experience, how good or possibly even bad was that for you, sort of having to be in that environment of, you have possible relegation looming, but you've been able to come out of it with such a high?
Yeah, when I joined Para Hills, we had 6 games left, I'm pretty sure, with Samir as the coach. And then we ended up losing the next 3. And that's when everyone started like feeling, okay, like we might go down, we might get relegated. Then the club decided to change coaches for the last 3 games of the season with Adam Savera, and it was like everything turned around. Everyone was really excited to play football, really working hard, and then that showed with the results and the way that we were playing in the last games with Adam in charge. He really showed what that team could have done if maybe Adam was in charge a little bit earlier. But as a feeling overall, it was almost as good as getting promoted, because especially the last game of the season against Metro Stars, 4-0, Metro Stars were top of the table with 12 points from second. It was just an unbelievable result and an unbelievable feeling, and being on that pitch at that time, I can't even describe it with words. It was phenomenal just to be part of that team and do what we did.
No, absolutely. Certainly one of the most famous endings, I think, to an NPL season in quite a while. A few more viewer questions before I go over to Alessio. One for you, George, from Instagram, from Kevin Ding. Why did George move from NPL to State League 2?
Well, I started doing pre-season with Para Hills with Joe Allison as the coach, and personally, I wasn't feeling very good with myself and how I was performing, and I kept telling Joe that I'm not feeling good, and Joe was backing me a lot in the beginning, and then there was some rumors that around the club about getting relegated and not the club not really caring, if that makes sense. And as a player, that's the last thing that you want to hear. Even if the season is not going to go the way that you want it to go, you still want to go and drive yourself and train hard and play hard and push and keep pushing as well. And Joe Allison ended up letting me go, and I have my brother Pontian Eagles, who he's been there for the past 2-3 seasons. Omar is the coach, a person who I've played with in the past at Olympic, and a few other people as well that I could have contacted and go there. And then I sat down, had a really good chat with Omar, and we were pretty much on the same page as to what we want to do this year and what we want to achieve. I respect his values and what he wants to bring in the team, and I believe that he also liked what I was going to bring in the team to get him promoted. And I think it was a pretty easy decision for me to make after that.
Perfect. Next question from Mohammed Toure. Who gets on George and Omar's nerves the most?
Omar, do you want to answer that first?
You go first, yeah.
I have to say it has to be Corrado Mushki. Like, our goalkeeper, he gets on my nerves the easiest way possible. Like he might not even do anything. He would just look at me weirdly, and I'd be like getting jittery. So I have to give it to Mushki.
Omar?
I think I tried to get got Marco, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I think Seb, you pronounced his last name really well. He was at Raiders. Do you know how to pronounce his last name?
Mahamanamana.
Yeah, that's the one. So he gets on my nerve really. But again, to be honest, I think I sometimes try to egg him on and get a good performance out of him. And yeah, so but he's someone that I love coaching him, but he can sometimes be difficult to coach.
Next one from Abdi Siraj. For you, George, how does it feel being the second best brother on the team?
Well, I guess my brother has been there for a while, and they started doing preseason with Abdi a lot earlier than when I joined them. So I guess he might have a little bit of a closer relationship with him, but I'm not really sure.
And then the final viewer question for you, Omar. Advice for younger players.
Look, it's a difficult one. I think to work hard. I don't know. My daughter decided she want to join. I don't know why. Hello.
What's your name?
Okay, please. Come on, right, yell. I don't know how she. I think you're locked upstairs, but somehow she made it her way here. Advice for young players. Look, I think find a mentor, find a club that suits your style of play, I guess, and just keep working hard, and don't blame the environment, don't blame coaches, don't blame anyone else other than yourself. I think that's something that unfortunately a lot of the young players, and I was a young player once, and I blamed everyone else except myself, and it's just easy. It's really easy to blame others and blame the environment and. But I think the best thing to do is just keep working hard. I got to single out one particular player from our club, Liam, who came from Cobras, and this kid just works extremely hard, and just if things don't go his way, he just keeps working hard and hard and hard. Unlike Mohamed Toure, it's just keep working hard and stop. Don't blame others, and just make sure that's there's the opportunity there. Just take it, So
some really good stuff. Alessio, to you, and also I did get that confirmation that you did make your first team debut with Omar as the opposing coach. So I got it up in the end. But to you now.
Yeah, I think we'll have to go back because I don't think George saw the videos from Olympic when we played together, so we might have to bring that up again. But
show him again,
yeah.
Do you
maybe
remember
doesn't
this?
score many headed goals, but
Oh yes, I remember this goal. Wow.
yeah, so we had some good memories, and a fantastic player George was. And as I was saying, George, you could tell we'll strike partners, and you can tell how our careers went, which one scores more goals. But my questions are first. I'll go to Omar. Now at your third State League 2 club, what's the difference and objectives been being at a club who's already tasted success rather than being at a club that hopes you can take them there? I know obviously at Gawler you took them they were at the bottom of the leagues for a long year, and then they made the finals under you. And Northern Demons the same, and they got very close to finals as well. Now at a club like Pontian, who's already been promoted to the State League 1, what's the difference been there, and what has the objectives been?
Yeah, look, I'm going to be honest. Obviously, this is a startup environment, a new culture. I spoke with the new chairman, George, and we talked about, obviously we try to get the culture right. I think that was our main objective. Obviously, I try to do a bit of Arteta, so I try to downplay it a little bit and say, you know what, like we're building something there, we're building something, and said, look, you know, we are bringing the right players into the club, and all depends on how they gel together and stuff. So objective was definitely to make sure that the culture was right, and I think we succeeded in doing that, regardless of the outcomes of the season. I think it's respect is something that's very obvious at the club. Players know their roles to play, coaches coach, and committee members are obviously helping the club behind the scenes. I think that's the main thing is sort of I like that, I think it's just getting the hierarchies right at the club is always good. Still there's a lot of teething obviously issues and stuff, but we that's what we're trying to sort out in the next phase. But the objective, to be honest, I the players came up with the objective to get promoted. Obviously deep inside, maybe that's the objective that I want, but I've never said the words of promotion to the players. They're the one that driving the project, and I think I remember Katsigiannis a couple of seasons ago. I think it would have been Alessio interviewing him in the final, I think, and then he said the it's a lot easier when the players are driving the culture, and coaches just to be there to help steer it, I guess, and that's what we try to do as coaches. And it's up to the boys at the end of the day what they want to do. We try to give them as much details as possible in terms of game plans and information, but it's really up to them. But the main thing is the objective is the culture, and to be a destination club in the north. And I think we've kind of succeeded in sort of, obviously in the early days. Reserve are doing really well. 18s are doing relatively well, and the club have joined the YCC. A lot more numbers out, and that's the biggest thing. And for me, if we can keep that, I think that will be the biggest success this year.
Yeah. Next one, of course, for Katsy. You've had a bit of a journeyman career across the NPL and the state leagues, and you've scored pretty much everywhere you've went. At Pontian at the moment, it seems like you're in the most consistent form. Do you agree? And what are the differences that you've seen in starting like a full season at one club and scoring so consistently? And do you maybe see yourself there in the long term as well?
It's a tricky environment to be in, because I started doing preseason at one club and I thought I was going to be at that club, and then obviously things changed and I joined a brand new team with people that I was not very familiar with. But I sort of got into the team relatively easily. Everyone was very welcomed. We get along really well with the boys, and I think the really, really good vibes that we have in the team and around the club helps a lot with the results and me scoring as well. I think up until last week that I didn't score, I've scored in every game that we've played so far in the league and in the cup as well. And that's not just because I'm scoring all the goals, and because I'm at the end, I'm all the way to the front. It's a reward for all the hard work that is happening behind me. The midfield, the defenders, the goalkeeper, Mushki. So Tyler as well. He's been very crucial for us this season. I think overall, I needed that change in a sense to find my form and try and push myself a little bit more, and everyone around me helps me with it. What was the last part of the question? I forgot.
Oh, just about do you see yourself being there for the long term? And yes, seeing goals with the club go up and up, and that kind of thing.
Yes, I believe that Pontians. I value what Pontians are about and their ambitions, and as long as they keep believing in me and my abilities and what I can offer to the club, whether that's in State League 2, in State League 1, or in NPL, I'll be more than happy to be part of this journey. It's been a very, very, very welcomed club to be part of, and I'm so proud to be playing for that club.
Great answer. Omar, next one to you. Obviously, hailing from the north yourself, how privileged do you feel and how happy do you feel when you're coaching clubs in that area? And what kind of tips do you give for other struggling clubs that might be in and around these leagues and your coaching practices that have maybe kind of turned them around? I know there's a lot of clubs that would wish they had your services and could see them go up the tables like you've done in previous years, but how happy are you to coach a club that is close to you and in the past done so well with clubs in that area too?
Yeah. I'm actually in the northeast, so I'm Highbury, so it takes me about 27 minutes to go across to the north. But yeah, my last clubs that I played at was Gola, Marlborough Vista, and I played at Eastern United as well, so which is around the corner, not far from me. But yeah, I think football is evolving a little bit, to be honest, and I think probably young coaches do deserve a bit of an opportunity, I guess. We've seen that with Mitriciani as well. He's been given an opportunity early on, and he's proved it and stuff. So that'll be my advice to clubs. Obviously, promote younger players. I think the idea of going and buying the league or buying players to win the league is probably it's not exciting anymore, to be honest. I think is best thing is to see the fruit of your work, and that's what we try to do. We started preseason really early, November, and we knew we had to play a lot of preseason games. We played, I think, almost 10 or 12, between 10 and 12 preseason games. And that is because we had probably 6 or 7 out of the starting lineup. I've never had first team experience. And then we kind of wanted to give him a bit of game time, and we did. And I think that's paying dividend, I guess, in what we're trying to do. We kind of, sort of change formation in halfway. And we found that, I guess it's too early to say our identity, but we did find glimpses of that identity, if that makes sense. And yeah, so definitely, believe in sort of younger coaches, believe in the coaches in general. I think just to give him an opportunity and give him a project. I think nowadays clubs are kind of changing coaches for the sake of it because the resource isn't there. I think that's very important to have like a long-term plan. But then, promote younger players and just stick to try to have an identity to a club and stick to it. And I think that will eventually help out, I guess. So who am I to give advice to clubs? But that's sort of since I'm just answering your question.
No, thanks for that. Just before I get on to my usual questions of best players you played with and coached as well, I was obviously, you talked through your clubs, George, growing up. Is there any Greek clubs you haven't played for yet?
I'm pretty sure I haven't played for Adelaide Comets. And I've still got plenty of time and plenty of years ahead of me, so who knows?
You just said before you want to stay if they want you, but we'll keep going on to the next questions. Obviously, open to the floor. For Omar, the best players you've coached, and for George, the best players you've played with.
It's a best player I coach. I'll also add best player I played with as well, and I was very privileged to play with Paul Pezos, and this guy was something else, to be honest. He was at Alice City, and then came for half a season to Olympic, and I happened to share the pitch with him, and that's it's probably a highlight of my career, to be honest. Sarante process as well. He was up there. But privileged players that I coach or I feel is actually currently with us, to be honest. And the boys don't realize how good he is. It's not George. I mean, George is one of them for sure. But it's Micah Lialafa. Like, it's just this guy is just unbelievable. I had him at Northern Demons, and the scary thing is that he's still not fit, and he's delivering really well at training. Now started to pick up a little bit more, and it's going to be very scary when he comes in, to be honest, and be part of the team. And I think he did play with George last year at Vipers, and I'm sure George is excited about having him back as well. So he's probably just like an international player. Played in the Club World Cup. He played in the Futsal World Cup. Yeah, I feel like very lucky to coach someone like him. For sure.
George?
Just a little bit, I want to touch on that. I wish I played with Micah when he was a little bit younger, because right now he's a little bit old and he's getting a few more injuries and he can't find his actual steps. But I agree with Omar. He would be one of the best players I've ever played with. There's two more players I want to add, including my brother. That's Thanasi Lessie and Tyler Hocking. They're both Thanasi Lessie because of his work rate, because you can't win the ball off the guy. He works really extremely hard for 90 plus minutes. He doesn't stop, and he's just got that dog in him. And Tyler, because I played with Tyler at West Adelaide as well, and saw him climb up the ranks from under 18s up until the first team, and now we're teammates again. So I'm really privileged about that, and I really appreciate that he's our captain for this season. I believe that he's been leading us very, very well. And I think that's pretty much it. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just add to George. Tyler is actually just turned 20, I think. So he's the club captain, and he just turned 20, and that's a testament to him, and obviously to the club and how we're trying to move and promote younger players. So he gives us everything. For sure. So that's it's a good one, George.
Thanks. That's all from me. That's all the questions. Thanks for joining us. We really hope and wish you the best for the season. I know Seb's definitely closer to your grounds if he can ever get to any of the games, but of course, throughout the season, and I hope we see you in finals as well. We know how big the club is growing to, and we're excited to see them back on the big stage next year, hopefully, so we can get down there and commentate some games.
Beautiful. Real pleasure, guys.
Thank you, boys, and thanks for the hard work, and we really appreciate your program, and have a nice show.
No, thank you both so much. Yeah, good luck for the weekend and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks for listening. See ya. Thanks.
Perfect. Good chat. We got there in the end, even with technical difficulties. So now it's back to just me and you. We'll go through the results of the past week. We'll start off in the State League 2. Gawler Eagles losing 2-1 at Modbury Vista. Of course, we spoke about Pontian Eagles 3-1 over Salisbury into Barossa. A 4-1 loss to Elizabeth Downs. Port Adelaide having a 0-0 draw with Northern Demons, and Anglevale 2-1 down to Elizabeth Grove. In the south, Vipers 2-0 against Western Strikers. Plympton 4-0 over Mount Barker. Seaford Rangers 4-0 over Adelaide Titans. Hills Hawks going down 2-0 at home to Adelaide Uni, trying to find their way back into form. And Norlunga United 4-1 over Garn United. Alessio, you're going to be doing a lot of carrying in terms of talking about these results this week.
That's okay. Obviously, I'll start in the north. Some big results, of course, in the top of the table, with Pontian winning 3-1 in that clash against Salisbury Inter. It extends their lead at the top. Modbury Vista have kept on their amazing win streak since changing coaches. This week wasn't the biggest of wins, as we'd all expected, but there's still 5 or 6 games now they've won in a row, and they did so with 10 men as well, with their striker Benjamin Trotter getting a red card just after scoring. Across the league as well, of course, in Chris Anis's 300th game. That was a 0-0 draw, unfortunately. For the bottom of the table, Elizabeth Grove got a win over Anglevale, which has propped them up into that middle table with Anglevale as well. And the last game, Elizabeth Downs beating Barossa, another team struggling for points this season. Barossa and Elizabeth Downs are well in there for the finals race as well. That's all in the north. In the south, again, with these results, you can really start to see the separation between the two upper and lower of the table. I mean, 4-0, 4-0, 4-1, and 2-0. You can really tell how another 2-0. It's very, very separate in this division. And you can see now with those wins, Seaford has still kept their gap at the top of the table, 3 points over, 2 points, over Vipers. Garn, a surprise loss heavily against Noarlunga United at Noarlunga's home. Of course, it's a fortress there at the Pound, they like to call it. And they're getting some results to get themselves back up the table where we had expected them to have such a big year too. Adelaide Titans still on the slide at the moment. They were the recipients of that 4-0 against Seaford. And since hitting the peak of the table, Adelaide Titans have lost 4 in a row now. And they're slipping down the table a bit. They still hold on to that top 4 spot. Elsewhere in the league, Vipers, a big win over Western Strikers. I know there's a lot of players that have gone in between those two teams, so I'm sure it was a fiery clash down there at St. Clair Oval, and that's probably why there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 yellow cards in that game, and I think half of them were for the coaches too. Elsewhere, Adelaide Hills Hawks unfortunately couldn't continue their win streak. They had 3 in a row before this week, and Adelaide Uni finally snapped their winless run. I think it went all the way back to round 2, maybe, where they last picked up 3 points, Adelaide Uni, so they could finally get back on the winners list. And unfortunately for me, Mount Barker, another crushing defeat against Plimpton. 4-0 the home side had, and it was a win on all three games as well. I got a bit of stick on and off the pitch about my prediction as well. Well, even while I was there as well, as soon as I came on, I could hear a couple on the bench, a couple in the crowd saying, "What was your prediction again?" before I left the change rooms as well. Sure, it was all lighthearted. There's a lot of players that I played with across both teams, but all props to them. They had a good week, a good day out. That Bacala pitch was shocking to play on. I'll give him that much. But a 4-0 win is comprehensive, and we can't really say too much about that. That was all the South, and that's all State League 2.
Perfect. Well done. Women's State League for round 10. Elizabeth Grove going 5-0 down to Adelaide City. Sturt Lions 3-0 over Cove, and Modbury Jets 4-0 over South Adelaide Western Strikers, and Adelaide Jaguars to be played at a later date. That one was abandoned. I'm not too sure why, but again, I would guess due to the weather over the past weekend or week or so. Again, as we say with the WSL LSO, Adelaide City and Sturt Lions more so now. We spoke about Adelaide Jaguars perhaps becoming a third horse in that race, but they've just seemed to have slipped away, at least for now. Of course, they do have that game in hand, but sort of maybe back to seeing between City and Sturt perhaps, and of course that final third game soon to come in the second half of the season to possibly decide things.
Yeah, again, this is another league where you can see the separation. The top 4 teams win consistently, easily, 4-0, 3-0, 5-0. And then, the rest don't really compete with those top 4. When they play each other, they get a bit of their successes, but back on their merry way. And, of course, for Adelaide City, of course, with that major win, it does get them that bit closer to Sturt Lions' goal difference, if that's just going to put a play in things later on in the season. And, for Modbury Jets, getting a big win for themselves to put themselves into that top section of the table. But, again, comprehensive from the top 2. And I think it's pretty comprehensive for them until they play each other, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on to State League 1 for round 11. Eastern United and Adelaide Blue Eagles 1-0 to Blue Eagles with a very heated end to that match. Adelaide Atletico and South Adelaide playing out a 1-1. Croatia Raiders 3-1 against Adelaide Olympic. Modbury going 1-0 down to Cumberland United, of course, trying to find form ahead of their big Australia Cup qualifying final. Fulham 3-2 over Cove, and Salisbury United against Cobras 2-1 at home, a win which both sides really have needed. Again, Salisbury trying to dig themselves out of what has become a bit of a relegation battle for them at the bottom, and Cobras just trying to, again, another team trying to find form ahead of their qualifying final against Cumberland.
Yeah, I'll start on that Friday night, which is a very controversial game that occurred. Of course, neither of us were there. We don't have exactly the right stories from either accounts, but there was footage from the full-time scenes in the tunnel, as well as on the end of the pitch as well. No bookings were shown, and no bands are ahead from what I can tell, but started with a great header from Cooper Mullins. Apparently it was a bit of a goal drought. I saw his dad on Facebook saying that he hasn't scored for quite a while now, so he's a very good target man from set pieces. I know from his time at Sturt and Olympic and even Demons. So getting himself on the score sheet there is something I hope he will get for more of the season. But again, Blue Eagles pushing themselves on after their postponed games throughout the year. Every time they're playing now, they seem to be winning. For Eastern, this was the first game, I assume, since head coach departure.
Yes, correct.
So, fortunately for them, they couldn't get any closer to climbing themselves out of relegation. But fortunately, those around them didn't pick up too many points. Only Salisbury, of course. We'll get onto them in a minute. But yeah, we're still waiting for more information about what occurred at the end of that game, what was said, what might happen in the future for those clubs, and if there's anything brandished later on. But we'll skip over that for now because that's not something I want to talk about. Croatia Raiders versus Olympic. A big win for Croatia Raiders there again. That was, some great goals in that one as well. Of course, for Olympic, Ali Akil scoring again is another player that I love to see play. Yeah, he reminds me of Hazard. I'm not sure if he's a fan of the show or if he knows that about himself, but the way he just uses his body and gets in front of players, he's got that Hazard step for those at home watching. And he scored another goal in this game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more and more of him. He's a young player, and he's had such a career path coming from Garn and State League 2, playing in their reserves and their first team last year because he was so good they had to play him in both, and they were fighting for two spots in that. But for Raiders, they another good win at home for them, and some good goals as well on their charge. I think this is his goal now.
I'll go back to it.
Very weird goal, I guess. I think it's gone under the keeper's legs from a really tight angle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Kalua, he hasn't had the best of luck between the sticks recently. And I'm sure he would have been not very happy not keeping a clean sheet there. Next, we'll go on to the Salisbury train. It's up and running. They put the coal in the furnace and they're chuffing along now. And who else but skipper Matt Taylor to get a couple goals and to push them on their way out of relegation. This first goal was one of the most disgusting goals that you'd have to claim to your name, to be honest. But they went 1-0 down to a Harper's header in the game. And then another bad goal to concede and play on the floor scoring. But this next one, for those watching, I guess you can claim it was going on target, but it's a tough one to celebrate, to be honest.
Up in the air. It's a bit scrappy. I appreciate the celebration. It was a needed goal, but a bit scrappy.
This next one was a great header, though, and this is what we know him for. A big threat in the air and a fantastic header. Meant a lot to him. It's annoying the cameraman missed him for so much of this celebration, but there's a lot of passion in it as well. Just here as well, he doesn't kiss the badge, he just kisses the middle of his shirt. But but anyway, they don't care. They've got 3 points. The curse is now lifted of them finally getting a win, and they can push on to next week where they've got that informed Cumberland team to play. For Cobras, more of the same for them. They've, of course, got a cup game to face as well in the next coming weeks, but their form in the league has been slipping ever so much. They're now just above the relegation few with 2 points ahead of South Adelaide and a bit more, 5 above Salisbury and Eastern, but it's going to be tough for them the next few weeks. Athletico v South Adelaide, a 1-1 draw. South Adelaide seem to be picking up points as well, so I guess for Eastern's sake, Salisbury and South Adelaide picked up some points, and Salisbury seemed the most likely now to pull themselves out of that relegation battle. Some good goals in this one as well. A penalty, and I think Garba Abubakar scored for South Adelaide. A great finish, just popped right into the top corner. He seems to be scoring quite a few as well. And then a penalty here for Matt Mayo, clear penalty. And they get themselves back in this one. Small little shout out to Terry Samaras for South Adelaide. He made his senior debut, and it was straight from the start and played full all 90 minutes as well for South Adelaide. Ex-teammate of mine. I played him actually in the Cup not long ago when he was playing for South Adelaide's reserves, and he'd only been on the bench one other time this year. And to make his debut, he came in straight from the start and played all 90. So very good props to him. The next game we'll go is Cumberland versus Modbury. This game, I think, was Liam McCabe's 250th, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I think so too.
So unfortunate for him at home as well, where my favourite nets are installed. They couldn't get the goals or the win. And it's actually a really well worked goal for Cumberland and a great header as well from Thomas Scott. Cumberland just about getting some points on the board that will help them while their cup run is on, but they're as well in the same boat as Cobras, where they've been slipping down the league for a while and they got that cup run that's providing them the wins, but finally they got one back in the league.
I imagine you're looking forward to be able to try and score on those blue nets at Modbury in a few weeks at the charity match too.
Yeah, and those white nets, you mean? But yes, I'm
The
very
white nets,
excited.
sorry, yes.
I'm not excited to play on that pitch though. That's another horrendous artificial that needs to be replaced. But the last game, Fulham United versus the Cove FC, a top of the table clash that, side note, I predicted perfectly. But some other good goals in this one. We knew it was going to be tight. We knew Cove were going to struggle on an artificial pitch. And for Fulham, they took a lead in this game and they never let it slip throughout the day. Early goal from a corner. Good for Daniel Pritchard there. And then I think this Luke Fusco goal either got a deflection or it might have just been out of the view of Mitch Higgins, but another player in fine form. 10th goal of the season. Seems to be scoring every cup and league game at the moment. And yeah, he told me during the week he wants to get 10 league goals is his ambition at the moment. And he's doing really well there at Fulham. The captain, Michael Good, got one back just on the stroke of half time. And then Alex Rideout did his usual special of just wiggling his way through everybody and no one willing to touch him as he went into the box here. You'll see for the equaliser, just played into his feet, wiggle past 1-2, gets the 1-2, and then just finds the bottom corner like he does. Thought they were back in it after this, but a really unfortunate deflection here for Christian Borghetto to get the winner. Again, it was Luke Fusco down that side and tackle into him has just put it perfectly in the path of Borghetto to score. And that was the win for Fulham. And that was all for State League One. Of course, the table remains now Modbury, top of the league, 23. Fulham, Atletico, and Cove on 20. And then Raiders and Olympic on 19. Really tight league. We always know it's going to be. But the more the results happen throughout the year, and now we've got two teams in the cup, the more things get interesting.
And not only that, just seeing as well, Blue Eagles in 7th, of course, with that game in hand, they could extend the gap between them and Cumberland to, trying to do a math quickly, 7 points, if that's to be correct, between Cumberland and 13. And then if Blue Eagles are to win their game in hand, they'll go to 20. So again, another league with a gap forming between, I guess, possible relegation candidates and then finals candidates between the top and the bottom half. So yeah, very interesting one to look out for in the State League One there. WMPL for round 9, Salisbury and Adelaide Comets playing a bit of a rematch after their cup game. That one finished 2-2 this time. West Torrens Bocala 3-1 over Modbury Vista. Adelaide Uni with as well with a 2-2 draw against Football SA. Metro Stars a 1-0 loss to Campbelltown. Unfortunate goal, I guess, in the perspective of Metro, a bit of a deflection and a bit of a mistake. And then the one I guess we'll start off with, West Adelaide 9-0 over Flinders United. Our predictions were high. Your prediction was just about nearly spot on. But I guess being blunt and honest about it, Flinders United, of course, relieved duties of their old coach, and the new coach has come in, and it's just not gotten any better. Is the honest point about it?
Yeah, I think we'd have to talk for the rest of the show to show all these 9 goals for West Adelaide, but unfortunately, just it doesn't get better for them at the moment, Flinders, and this was one of those games, top of the league versus bottom of the league. We saw what the other top teams had done to Flinders in the past, and we knew it was going to be high, but this high, it was kind of crazy, and especially with some of these goals, seeing some indecisiveness out the back from Flinders. I think they've just lost all confidence, and for West Adelaide, it was just another roll in the park where they just could flex their muscle on all the defenders of Flinders. Of course, a couple of people probably boosting their goal to game ratio as well. I see when they post some of their signings, and all of them have about 20 or 15 to 20 goals. And I was like, wow, they just all get a lot of goals. And it's because they get games like this, unfortunately, where they're just that much better than their opponents, and midfielders are scoring hat tricks. And and that kind of thing. And I got to ask Nicole next time we see her how she didn't score in a 9-0 win. But
I think I said the exact same thing to her and I messaged her after.
But I guess it's the same as Katsi. I mean, I think they won at 6-1 the other week and he only got 2 and not a hat trick. But sometimes happens like that. But puts themselves further ahead in the league. West Adelaide, of course, took advantage of Salisbury and Comets drawing 2-2 in that cup rematch. That's the one I'll go to next, where, it was one of those games, I guess, it happens fairly often for some reason in our league where a team that's drawn in the cup plays the same team in the league after.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's impossible to guess like that, but we've seen it in the men's, we've seen it in all leagues.
I feel like ever since we've started doing this show, we've seen it happen like quite often.
Yeah. And the way I predicted was I thought that it was going to be one of those ones where whoever wins in the cup doesn't win in the league because it seems like that's the way it goes. But fortunate for this one, they got a late equaliser in this one, Comets. And obviously they made some changes to their team, Salisbury Inter as well. Unfortunate the quality of this video as well. I was pretty disappointed with for
it wasn't
a
loading
match of the
just
round.
then. That's why I took it off.
Yeah, when I saw it on the goals wrap, and even when I was watching, I thought this was meant to be the match of the round. It might have had better footage or better exposure, but clearly not.
A real camera person.
Yeah, but even for it being promoted that much, I thought it would be a bit better than that. But that's what you get at Service FM often. The next game I'll go to is the Bacala game. I think this was David might have been here for this one.
Yes,
or commentated for it. Sorry, and a good win. I mean, again, Mowbray Vista putting themselves up in a fight against any opponents, top of the table, bottom of the table, whichever. They seem to be putting up such a fight. And of course, for Bacala, they had some star players. One to note as well. We'll see her later on in this clip. I think she might have been an own goal in the end for this one, but I think she's number 21.
Oh yeah.
This one here. This one we wanted to pick her out because she was one of the best players on the night. Hayley Needs for Bacala. She put the ball in for that one, and according to David, as a commentator, she was one of the best on the park. And he hadn't noticed her before in previous games, so she's really stepped up this season and made a big impact there at Bacala. A goal, I think this is for Vanessa Reid for Mowbray Jets, but obviously they're in every game so far, and they're not showing that they're looking to go down without a fight, and they're looking to put themselves ahead of some of those teams at the bottom, like Metro Stars and Flinders, who just can't seem to be getting close enough to their opponents. Of course, Isabel Hodgson, her first goal back in the WNPL since arriving mid-season from Adelaide United. We're yet to see how long she's going to spend here and if maybe she'll be a full-time player in this league.
I was just going to go on to that. We saw the reports from Channel 10 during the week basically saying that the Adelaide United, but more so the women's program, pretty much going a sort of overhaul. A lot of local players, including Izzy and Dylan, seem to not be playing at United next year. I think a few others were mentioned in the report that I can't bring to mind immediately. It is interesting, with I guess these two in particular. If they do just sort of continue their career here in South Australia, or they do possibly try go other A-League clubs. But again, the thing I guess that hurts the most, I guess, from a South Australian perspective is, I guess, again, we see it with the men's side. The men's side are able to do so well with local products and these players we've seen play in NPL or play for the youth team and come up. And I guess for that sort of aspect to perhaps possibly go away for the women's side sort of takes away a bit sort of the love at least you get from supporting the male side of Adelaide United, and I guess the women's side possibly to have interstate players and players that are coming over.
Yeah, I think from what I got out of that report that was in the news was that anyone who is not currently on a contract, they're just going to go year to year pretty much. And it's going to be anyone who's off contract at the end of this year. You have your other negotiate for another contract, or you're free to go. They're not going to hold people and let them go as a free agent. They would just say you want to sign on or not. And unfortunately, those are some of the players that are off contract. I mean, I assume a few of them are going to definitely be offered some, especially players like Ella Tonkin and some of the players that are playing a lot more in the team. But I think it's just whoever's off contract, they're saying that we're not going to like hold you for a long time. If you get offered one, you get offered one. If you don't, you're free to look somewhere else. But it'd be interesting to see. I mean, that's always a tough thing about WNPL is the players that come back mid-season, who they go to, who can offer the best, close to a fairly professional wage or something like that for appearances. And we'll see which ones stay longer, and maybe we'll even get some from interstate come here as well.
No, absolutely. I think there are still a few more to be announced around the league, and I think Burkalla and Campbelltown are both getting new signings in from America. I can't remember who play as well, but I'm pretty sure they've got 2 coming in either this week or next week, or might already be here training. So I imagine a few more are to come as we again hit the exact halfway point of the season. Finally, we'll go on to the men's NPL for round 11. Again, the final lot of fixtures before we reverse essentially and play the away legs. Croydon 3-2 losers against Metro Stars. Adelaide City and Beergrad playing out a 2-2 draw, even with an Adelaide City red card. Playford 4-1 down to West Adelaide. A bit of probably the shock of the weekend, one of them at least. Campbelltown 2-0 against Sturt. Adelaide United 3-0 over Burkalla. That probably the other shock. And Adelaide Comets 4-0 over Para Hills Knights at the bottom of the table, which really puts grim looking in terms of Para Hills' perspective at the moment for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think if you're a Para Hills fan or a player, that was the one that you were looking to get something close to getting a result against. I think we know now Comets are really going to put a fight to stay in this league. They've got all their players back. They're back in form. They're playing at home and they're doing so well. So I think it's going to be a real plus for them throughout the rest of the season, especially when we get into the winter months and that pitch doesn't hold up the best. I think they're going to be a real tough place to come. And that's what you got to do at the moment. I mean, they might not have the best football, or they have a coach who can't put his ideas in from the off now. He's just got to work with what he's got. And I think that's what you got to do. You got to be a tough team to play against, somewhere where no one wants to come. I mean, I, for one, have said I hate the parking there. I hate going there. And there's I can't see the scoreboard. So that's what you got to do. You've got to be a hard to beat team. And I think that's what they'll do for the rest of the season. I guess we can start with that game as well, and some of the goals in there as well. Some great goals from Jake Porter and from Aladdin Irabona as well. And then, a late goal for Ethan Karkafiris, a missed penalty, fortunately fell to his head. But some better goals here from the attackers of Comets, who haven't had a lot of luck in front of goals recently. And I think Jake Porter is probably one of their top scorers this season.
I was just going to add on about Jake Porter. You'd imagine he's gone to Comets and sort of looking for a new start for himself after, perhaps not playing as much as he might have, not starting as much as he might have liked to at Metro. And even again, with just the situation the team's in, he's perhaps only just been able to start making an impact, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've commentated him a couple of times and he actually wasn't in the squad at all. And I was surprised at that. But I think that's what you need sometimes as a player, just to go to a place and maybe be looked at as the main man. At Metro, I know he wouldn't have been. And at Comets, they've had a lot of their main men injured or out for a while of the season. Of course, Irabona's back now, and Maverick Lombardos rarely misses a game. But to be that leading number 9 and the one that people expected to get goals from you for, and for the whole season as well. I mean, at Metro, he came in as the leading number 9 in the Australian Championship because they had players go, players injured, and it was a tough circumstance to be in. Now at Comets, he had the whole preseason. It's a familiar club. His father's there, and I think his sister, I guess, is there as well. And knowing you have the confidence of the team, the club, the coach from the off, I think it's probably held him in good stead for the rest of the season, and I think he'll do well. But a massive win for them at home, and they move on to pastures green. They've obviously put themselves close to Sturt Lions. They go to that game next against Campbelltown, and unfortunately for Sturt, the injuries are piling up and the poor results are as well. Unfortunately, that's 5 losses in a row in all competitions. Of course, this is after they had one of their best wins ever against Adelaide City at home, 1-0 the first time ever. It was historic. Some of the players, that was just such a big moment for them, even for the coaches, to let your players know we might not be the biggest name club in this league, but we can still pull off results. Unfortunately, they didn't do the same in this game against Campbelltown. 2 goals here from Labasso and Murray. Unfortunately, they're still dealing with goalkeeper issues. They've got the reserve, the third choice keeper in goals at the moment, and they're still dealing with injuries. The captain Maroney is still out. They have Omar Hassan is out for a while. They have Munro's just come back from injury. I think Gonzalo Rodriguez got injured in this game as well. But for Campbelltown, a much needed win for them. Josh Murray's in spectacular form. I think he still is the leading scorer in the league with 10 league goals.
It's either that or I think he's equal. It's one of the two.
Yeah. But yeah, very, very, very good for him and very happy for him as well. Good friend of mine. And after the season he had last year, I think he only scored 2 league goals. And
something like that.
They didn't make finals, and now he's leading the charge for them to get back to the stage where Campbelltown deserve to be. And they're putting a lot of young players on the park now as well, with Mullen out, Marino out for the whole season potentially. They've had long-term injuries to other players in the team as well. And it looks like they're going to have to rely on these young players, and they're going to have to hopefully take them to the next stage again. But a much-needed win for them.
And I think just to finish off on Campbelltown, I think either we spoke about it in our preseason preview this year or last year. Campbelltown, I guess, for the past, I can't remember which one, either 2 years, 3 years, they have been a bit of an older / aging team when you have the likes of, Joel Allwright, who's retired, Daniel Mullum himself, a few others. And I guess now we are starting to finally see sort of a new era of Campbelltown where those are starting to, depart and retire.
Yeah, I mean, even in the past when they had the visa players, there were some of the older players as well. Even last year, Appiah, when they had Yoshikawa, Matsumoto. I'm not sure I think Fujinami might be quite young actually.
I think Fujinami is 23 or 24.
Yeah, but they brought in some older players as well. Daniel Vaughan, of course. Labasso, he's not too old, but he's one of the more experienced players in the league. Yep. And of course, I think they're just about trying to get their play style to work now, and they're going to be a long period without some of these older players as well. So I think they're going to be better for it in the future. And yeah, hopefully they can kick on from this win.
Another one to look at. West Adelaide's win over Playford, a big shock, I think, for everyone. Playford, over the past 2 weeks, I saw that game against City, which they drew 0-0. They were probably lucky to come out with a point from that one, in all honesty. Adelaide City hit the woodwork so many times. And this past weekend, it was Ivanic and Stam sort of running the show, from all accounts.
Yeah, I really noticed, of course, watching some of the highlights of this game and the game itself. Definitely something none of us predicted. All 4 of us had Playford win convincingly at home. They've been so good, and they hadn't lost for a number of weeks in the league at least, and specifically at home. I can't remember too many that they've lost. But coming out into this game, seemed like there was a much better connection between Ivanic and Stan. I remember you and I commentated them at Adelaide United not long ago, maybe a month or so, and I just thought the front connection, not between them specifically, but just to get them both involved and play to their best strengths, was just non-existent. One of them was not getting it to feet. The other one was getting it too far ahead of him. They were getting long balls up by themselves to contend with no one around them. But in this game, it just flipped. A really tough defensive side, Playford. They don't often concede 4 goals, that's for sure. And to do so at home and get carved up this easily was, a bit of flexing of the muscles again for West Adelaide. I mean, they haven't got too many wins. I think this probably broke a streak of maybe 7 or 8 games where they hadn't won yet, West Adelaide. So to do so here was, I'm sure, very happy. And talking to some of the players as well, they said that it almost felt like every time they were on the break, they were going to score. They were just doing so well. It was a great day out. And very, very happy for the team there to get them back on track and probably push them maybe into that finals contention instead of where the bottom of the table trying to stay up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess sort of on the positive note for Playford is that we go to the Adelaide United and Burkalla game. Burkalla also dropping points makes that top of the table a bit more tighter. But I guess Adelaide United sort of a shock when you see the result at first sight, but then you go on dribble and you look at the team sheet. And of course, A-League season has just finished. A lot of those A-League fringe / sort of possibly even starting A-League players were playing as well, giving them that perhaps slight edge. And I guess the unpredictability of not knowing what Adelaide United side you're going to be playing for Burkalla in this instance.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, a lot of people have said it in the past. Sometimes it's just really annoying to come up against an undermanned Adelaide United versus a full strength one. Of course, there's some players in this game that some of them have come out now, and of course, Panache is no longer contracted at the club. I don't know what that means.
Team of the week.
I don't know what that means for him MPL wise. I guess he can't play anymore.
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
I imagine he wouldn't be able to play for the youth team, but I'm guessing he'd be fine to sign for any other MPL club.
Yeah, so that's very interesting to see what will happen there. I guess that window is actually coming up just about now, so
Even
be
the same
interesting
with
to see
Bailey
what
O'Neill
happens.
too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was involved in this game, but in any case, it's very very unfortunate for Bacala. They're probably happy that play for drop points as well, but now both of them, in doing so, have let Metro Stars and Adelaide City back into the race for that title. And I guess for this game in specific, I mean, an own goal and 2 penalties is not the best thing you want to see. I mean, they technically didn't really do much wrong from open play, and got beaten convincingly. So they'll have to go back to the drawing board and see what they can do next week. They've got a big game against Adelaide Comets, where a lot of their players have come from. So that'll be a very feisty game, I'm sure. And especially with the form that Comets are in now, I reckon it's going to be a cracker.
And then I think we've got 2 more to go. Adelaide City and Beergrad playing out a 2-0 draw there. Again, another one with 2 sides that are in that top 6. And I guess I'll let the goals play, but it is at the halfway point of the season, at least from my perspective, very refreshing to not have to see one team, and not to pick on them, but Metro in particular over the past few years, where they've been 6 points, 8 points clear at halfway. Really, at this point in time, it could be any from Burkalla, Metro, Playford, City, Beergrad, even Adelaide United now sneaking in as a possible contender for that top spot. It's good to see, I guess, from a neutral and wanting to see a bit of entertainment perspective.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this is almost becoming what the State League One is, where there's so many good teams, so many good players, that there's no one with a consistency, because teams just rock up on the day and play unbelievable. So this one started out with the great start from Adelaide City. It looks like their attack is all getting in on the act now as well. Dom Costanzo finally getting a goal. Well, this one was actually Laurie Latanzio's, which we'll see later on what happened to him. But they were up in this game, Adelaide City. 2-0 up, in fact. A nice header here, and you can see Kasumovic involved with a lot of the attacking play as well. And they would have thought they were home and hosed, playing that well in the first half. Adelaide City Park, not many teams get themselves back into the game. And unfortunately, they got that header there from Costanzo, who probably hasn't hit the heights a lot of us would have expected, as he had in previous years in New South Wales. But he still gets his goals and creates such a nuisance of himself. Very silly penalty to give away here. I think that's Kitano, maybe.
Yeah,
you never want to see a
Torriello.
striker. You never really want to see a striker tangling with players in their own box. I mean, they're not at that point of the park for a reason. They can't really defend. But Baselli with a penalty got his side back in it, and then this finish was just I guess you can't really see what the keeper was doing. Or you go on.
I was just going to say, I think we saw last year with Lorenzo Baselli. He had a fairly good season in his first year here, but I think this year he's very much sort of become a leader in that Beergrad side, and has brought them results like these, which I think is, when you do have a Vias signing, is what you want to see, as we see the subsequent red card later on in the match.
Yeah, it seems like there was some grabbing around the back of the neck, but any hands on anything close to the face from a player is always going to see that. But talking about Vaselli, I mean, you can see that he's got the armband again. Obviously, he's been the one that stayed on the park the longest. I mean, Falco's been down with injury, Natsiopoulos as well. Ninko Beric is one of the other captains who's out for the season, and I think he's just been the one that's really stood up, and one of the best visa signings we've seen. And I have to say, I picked it when he first came, when I saw where he was coming from in the college system, and I just thought he was going to fit the league perfectly. And I think his goals are really going to mean a lot to Beergrad this season, because no matter how they play, or if it's beautiful or if it's not, he seems to find the net.
Yeah, especially again with that possible cup campaign looming even further. I think he's going to be very crucial, especially in that qualifying final. Again, if he doesn't break down like a few of the other Beergrad players. Just finally, Metro 3-2 against Croydon was fairly convincing for Metro, despite a slight late comeback from Croydon. Again, Croydon still just trying to find their way through the season, but maybe possibly now just starting to get themselves out of possible relegation chatter.
Yeah, I mean, the game was all about Donatien Nyonkuru. We've seen what he can do previously in the State League One, I guess, and even some places in New South Wales with the NPL team there. But we really hadn't seen it in a Metro shirt for a while, especially with his injury in the Australian Championship and the out of position nature he's been having to play. But in this game, it was all about him. A fantastic goal there. Another great dribble here that I think he finds his way on the end of this where he probably should have. Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, so he scores there, and I think after this, I thought it was the other goal where I think he should have scored and he gets the assist in any case. But 3-0 up in the second half, you probably would have thought, okay, that's it. 20 minutes to go, less than that even. That's all that's going to happen. They brought a lot of their players on the park as well, Croydon, to try and get a winner. And a lot of those heroes in the past, like Alexander Good and Santana Barkovsky, they really paid dividends coming on and scoring and put their hand up to start next week. And yeah, Binyam Kabidi getting a goal as well here, trying to get himself involved as well. It was interesting to see Andre Carl was on the bench for this game and only came on in the 90th minute.
I think it's the second week in a row where he's been on the bench too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they want to save him some drama in this game and didn't want it to boil over or anything. But maybe it's an injury. We don't know. But they got the job done. But just a bit of overplaying here out of the back with Cody Ostrike. And I think he gets pretty mad at someone not moving or something after this. But I think it's pretty much all his fault there. I mean, he's got to kick it long, unfortunately. Yeah, no. Playing out to the back, especially when you're that late in a game, I guess there's no danger. I mean, it's all about club ethos, as we had before with Omar Hassan talking about club identity and how you play. But in moments like that, I think that's just a bit silly. But in any case, 3-2 Metro, they got themselves back up to the top couple of the league, and took advantage of those slips from other clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, again, at the halfway point of the season, so we'll see all these fixtures again, at least in the NPL and also the WNPL too. All right, on to our predictions for this coming weekend. But how did we do, Alessio? You've spoiled in our own chat that apparently there's been a bit of movement in our predictions in terms of the ladder.
Yeah, I actually probably preempted that a bit too much because I thought there would be some, seeing as how individually some people went, but I guess the gaps were just too big that it didn't really do much. But anyway, we'll go through each of them. Unfortunately, David and Mark are not here, but maybe they're tuning in at home for this special part. But Mark picked up a total of 15 points with one perfect score, and that one was Sturtline's Women to win. That puts him up to 240 points with 21 perfect scores. Seb picked up one perfect score as well, 15 points, and that was Campbelltown Men's.
Okay.
That puts you up to 240 points, but just ahead as you've got 22 perfect results. Myself, I picked up 19 points with 3 perfect results, and that being Metro Stars Men, 3-2 winners over Croydon, Beergrad and Adelaide City's 2-2 draw, and Fulham United's 3-2 win over the Cove. That puts me up to 250 points with 23 perfect scores. And leaving the best till last, and I expected to see some movement, but I guess we're all doing so well. But with 5 perfect scores, David picked up 23 points. Those perfect scores being Bacala Women, Mowbray Vista Women to draw. There's a draw in the WNPL. I can't remember which game. And Salisbury Inter Women, Elizabeth Grove Women, and Pontian Men. So he picked up 5 perfect scores, picked up 23 points, but it still has him at the bottom of the table with 232 points.
Has he closed the gap?
Perfect scores.
Has he closed the gap?
Yeah, so I think last week the gap between him and Mark was 11 points. And now the gap between him and you and Mark on 240 is only 8 points.
How good.
And then the gap from you and Mark to me is 10.
Keeping it competitive at least.
Yeah, it was great. I was just looking through them all, and I was like, "Oh, I'm looking like doing well." And then I just saw, "Oh, another perfect for David, another perfect for David." I was like, "Wow, surely he goes up the table with this, but just close the gap, I guess.
All right, on to our predictions. Starting in State League 2 in the north, the game we're looking at is Mowbray Vista versus Northern Demons. I've gone for a 2-1 Vista win at home.
I'll go with a Vista win as well. I'll go 3-1.
Into the south, Vipers versus Garn, another big one near to the top of the table. I've gone for a 3-2 Vipers win at home.
What is that Vipers home? I'm going to go a... You said you went 3-2?
Vipers.
I'm going to go 4-2 Vipers.
On to next, the WSL Adelaide Jaguars versus the Cove. I've gone 2-0 Jags.
I'll go 3-0 Jags.
There's a theme with these.
I'm not on purpose, but yeah.
State League 1, Adelaide Croatia Raiders versus Mowbray Jets. At Croatia Raiders, I've gone for a 2-0 Jets win.
I'll go 3-2 Jets win.
And in the WNPL, Campbelltown City versus Salisbury Inter. At Campbelltown, I've gone for an Inter 3-2 win.
I'll go into 3-0.
And then finally for this weekend and for now, what do I want to do? Oh, yes, of course, the derby, West Adelaide versus Adelaide City on Sunday afternoon/evening. I believe that will also be a big match of the round production. David is on it. I can't remember who he's with. Maybe Simon, I think, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. I know that David is on it though. West Adelaide at home. I've gone for a 2-1 win after their big result against Playford in the derby. Be the first one in the derby I think, for quite some time.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of promotion as well. I'm expecting some heritage kits from both of them, maybe. But I hope so, if that's the case. But it's definitely a difficult one to predict, especially if it's at West Adelaide.
And I think every time I've seen West Adelaide quite a few times, especially at home. And at home, I think they're a very different side. Even holding Berkala nearly last week until very late on to a result.
I'm going to go 3-2 Adelaide City.
Okay. Very good. That is our predictions for another week. And that is just about our show. Hope you enjoyed it, even with half of us. Ran smoothly enough, I think. Anything that you wanted to add, Alessio, before we finished off for this week? And also your second to last show before you go away.
Yeah. I'm just happy to see, and thanks everyone for sticking with us after sticking with us after the connections. And yeah, I'm just looking at the live viewers as well, and usually we see it drop heavily after the guests are gone, but it stayed relatively good, above 20 or so. So thanks for staying with us, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show again. It was good to have guests on from all leagues as well. If you want to get in touch, if you want to be on the show, please get in contact with either Seb, David, Mark, or myself.
Or message
we're happy to have
any of our
on.
social accounts too. Will be.
Yeah. If you want to invite us to any of your games, there's going to be a couple of weeks, I guess, where there's not a lot of games for the NPL, even cup round ones, where we might be able to get out to some more state league games. So please, invite us out if you'd like to. And thanks for the support for everything we've done so far. We've got a couple of special episodes coming out, so make sure you stay tuned. Thanks for Omar and George tonight, and we've got some more special ones coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometime within the next 3 days. I haven't decided when it's going to come out. We have a World Cup episode coming with the four of us, where we just sort of chat about something we don't know too much about for about an hour and a bit. So that's good fun and put together well. So do keep an eye out for that. Make sure to donate for Johnny's game as well. I only realised it's only about a week, or just under 2 weeks, I think, away. I think they've just gone over $4,000 of their $10,000 target. So please do donate to that. We'll all be there in some capacity. So looking forward to that day. I think I've covered everything for this week. Oh, where are you? I'm at Adelaide United and Playford on Saturday afternoon, or are you nowhere because you're playing football?
No, on Friday. I'm at Bacala. I think it's first Comets. That's the game I was talking about before. So I'm back
Yes.
there. Thankfully, not playing on that horrendous pitch, but I'm just commentating.
I hope you mentioned that more than once while you're commentating.
Yeah, I will, because I haven't played there in probably 3 or 4 years since I was in the NPL playing, and I just couldn't. That's one of the worst artificial pitches I've ever played. Like it's one of those ones where I don't know if you ever walked across them where you can hear yourself like hit the ground, and like the ball just it's always bouncing because it's so flat.
Rodbury, I think, is one of those. I played a preseason game there, and not only that, it was also like a nearly 38-degree day, so your feet were burning too. It wasn't the greatest combination of of things to play there. But yeah, no, looking forward to that. And then also, speaking of the World Cup, we also have our tipping competition, which is still available to join. You can scan the QR code. It is on our Instagram in the link in the bio. I'm sure I'll post a story. And then it'll be in the description of the World Cup episode when that comes out, because we do mention it then too. Apologies for no Mark and David, but I'm sure they'll be back next week, and there'll be the 4 of us for one more time until you go for another 5 weeks or whatever it is, and then we'll be reunited once again. But yes, thank you once again for joining us, listening for this week. Enjoy your football, enjoy your weekend, and yeah, thanks again for spending your time with us.
Yeah, thanks for that. The mid-season transfer window is just about to be open for the players, so anyone wants to come on as a host, it looks like we've got some spots available.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, Alessio's gone. There's plenty of spots, and also if you want to tell us any exclusive transfer information, please do so anonymously, and we'll be happy to let the public know. But yeah, thank you again for watching, listening. We'll see you next week with another guest, and yeah, enjoy your football this weekend.
Cheers.
And we look like we're heading to extra time, but there's still 5 minutes to play here, Mark. And by all means, there could be more chances. Still in the box, and it's another goal! And it's Andre Cole, the hero for Croydon! We thought it was over, but it's not over, and Croydon look like they're going to go all the way to the win!
We can't say that now. Here goes Yuki Sasaki into the area. Penagaris, Chrissy Penagaris! Adelaide Comets have taken the lead.
Falcon there, but it leaves Owen Windsor. And a third for Metro Stars.
Here's Emma Ryan. She's not one of them because she's from Darwin. The shot from DeCola. Lily DeCola scores in the cup final again and wins it for West Adelaide. As the ball cuts back here to Odenwalder. And James Odenwalder scores. He makes it 2-0 for West Adelaide on the day.
I bet he was going to be Travella if he puts one in. He goes himself instead. And it's still Joy Sakani. It's unbelievable, David, as well. And that one is definitely going to be credited to him.
Will have to be chased down by Rapawano. He'll put in a cross of his own. Hobbs wasn't able to capture it. It's in! It's not the one that seals Adelaide Athletic promotion.
I got the skills to make the girls sing, and the geezers too. Yeah, we're doing this thing.